Congresswoman Garin, the principal author of the refiled Reproductive Health Care Act, joins us in our first segment, along with Attorney Joy Bong of the CBCP Legal Office. Good evening, Congresswoman Garin and Attorney Bong. Thank you for being here. Congresswoman Garin, let's begin with you, no? I'm sorry, Attorney Bong pala. Itong yung pastoral letter ni Archbishop Dosado, what did he say exactly?
He was referring to the politicians or legislators who had expressed their support for this bill on population management and reproductive health, which has many provisions which run counter to the basic rights of the family as enshrined in the Constitution.
All right, so to be very clear, he just wasn't referring to pro-abortion politicians.
Yes.
He meant anybody who authors and or supports this bill should not be given communion.
By reason of the moral implications of the bill. Mainly on that premise.
Okay, so medyo parang lumalaki ang storya. Hindi lang pala yung abortion, basta kahit sinong pangalan na nandito.
Well, in terms of their support by reason of material cooperation on something which is seen as immoral.
Okay. Their support for this bill which promotes reproductive health, family planning.
Yes. The position of the church actually can be encapsulated in one sentence, that legislators have no authority to pass immoral laws, precisely on that point. Because the church is the teacher of moral values, you see. So if you are professed to be a believer, then you have to be a believer not only in the way you think, but in all your espousals and in all your work.
Okay, so this is going to be an official CBCP position already. So it's not just Archbishop Dosado, yung buong CBCP na.
I will think that each bishop has his own thought or sense of this matter on the basis of the moral doctrine, on the doctrinal precepts of the church. Yes.
When we say that he had a pastoral letter, it was written and it was read, right?
That's right. In his particular episcopal jurisdiction, because a bishop has a particular jurisdiction, and that his authority there, his teaching authority, and the others are confined within that territorial jurisdiction, which we know as a diocese or
the diocese of Osamis, which covers the areas of, it's not just Osamis, diba? It's several areas around
a very well circumscribed area, actually.
Okay, so I'm a bit surprised, no? Because even the newspaper accounts of what the bishop had said, Archbishop Dosado had said, was very clear, parang abortion lang. Ngayon, wow, it's this whole bill na pala.
These are all interconnected, actually, because the bill has a very comprehensive program of reproductive health services and population management, as they call it. So we have looked into the, we looked into the meanings of the terminologies and the where they're coming from. This ideology that is behind this thing.
I'm interested. Do you have the pastoral letter with you right now?
Not right now, but I'm aware of it.
I just wanted a direct quote lang kasi. Okay, so it's not just abortion, but support for this bill, voting for, authoring this bill. Those politicians, those lawmakers should not receive communion.
Because of their the moral implications that the bill will usher in the event that it is going to be approved or passed.
Okay. Congressman Garin, my first question, Sana, for you tonight was, does the bill promote abortion? But apparently, the Archbishop is not just talking about abortion, he's talking about the entire bill, not just abortion. So it sort of changes the landscape. So now, you're sure that you won't be able to get communion? To receive communion because of this.
It's a very sad thing that is happening. I grew up as a Catholic with a strict Catholic parents, and I don't see why CBCP, of course, due courtesy to Attorney Joy Imbong, I don't see the reason why they would like to change the definition of abortion and reproductive health. In fact, when this pastoral letter came out and when there was call in some of the churches within my constituency, there was the news that some priests were calling for people to reject me simply because I was calling for a bill to legitimize abortion. But then I realized that their stand was definitely correlating abortion as synonymous to the use of artificial contraception, which is not the case. Our task as legislators is to come up with laws that is responsive to the needs of the people. Of course, that is not against human rights.
But there is no abortion here. You're not proposing
Definitely
abortion
no.
in the bill. Okay.
We condemn abortion. We even put penalty on those promoting abortion and selling abortifacients.
Okay. Attorney Imbong, what is it in the bill that the church finds, like you say, immoral? No?
Okay.
Like, you mean all the reproductive, I'm sorry, like for example, the contraception that's proposed, the education of grade 5 and up children, lahat po yun immoral.
Look, if we look into all the provisions here that they want to institutionalize, no, the norms that the bill wants to institutionalize, the first one is, of course, the title itself, the use of the term reproductive health. If I might go back to the hearing of April 29 in the Committee of Health and Population, a joint committee hearing, it was himself the commissioner of the Population Commission, Mr. Tom Osias, who said on record, and the transcript will bear me out, that reproductive health in the context of international usage includes abortion. He said that. I mean, it wasn't us who said that, it was him. It is POPCOM talking now. And so he was probably hearkening to the platform of action of the ICPD. This is the International Convention on Population, no, 1994, wherein in paragraph 7.6, abortion is really included in the terminology of reproductive health
services. But nowhere in this bill, nowhere in this consolidated bill is abortion.
The problem there in what the sponsors are saying is that when this platform of action in Cairo was approved, there was no reservation on the part of the Philippine delegation. No reservation or conditionality that they do not accept the meaning that was placed in that document. So in other words, we are going to be tied up to that. And now it's being used. That's why it's problematic and questionable.
Okay, but if we go beyond the term of reproductive health, what is it that you find immoral? Make it very specific.
I'll give you in specific terms. Number one, it violates the rights of the unborn from conception. It is a constitutional right and a moral precept.
So you don't want any contraception allowed except for natural family planning?
Mainly, yes.
As proposed by the church?
Yes, mainly because artificial contraception, meaning refer now to oral contraceptives, the patch, the injectables and the implants, etc. They have another action apart from preventing ovulation or conception. It also renders the mother's womb inhospitable to the young human life that's going to implant to it. So if it cannot be hospitable to a new